So someone's interested, we're going good. And when is it held? So Abhidhamma examination is held just before Christmas. It's in about the second week of December every year. And it is conducted by the Ministry of Religious Affairs. And it is the, so all lay persons and nuns can, without any age limit, can appear for the examination. And so far, the examination is only in Myanmar language, I think, not in English yet. And then they don't have any the center outside Myanmar so far. So we are trying to have a center in Singapore. So they agreed to give the center in Singapore. So if you can come to Myanmar and answer it, you are welcome. Not come any time. And if you want to study in English and get a diploma, so you can apply for entrance to the International Theravada University, Yangon. So the entrance examination is you can answer in the Myanmar Embassy in Hong Kong. And then if you attend 1 year, then you have a diploma. So there we teach the whole course of Abhidhamma for 1 year actually. And the next question is, when a person has the heart transplant, so what is mentality materially changed? So we say no change, because the same karma keeps on producing this mentality materiality. So the person is not changed. So he can remember all his experience and all his knowledge that he learned before. And then another question is, it said we also have the tears gushing out in meditation, in doing the Metta Bhavana, reading Abhidhamma Sutta, etc., as he said. So, when tears coming out, do they always accompanied by the two akusala citta? We say two dosa mula citta that cause weeping and moaning. Or when tears come out, is it possible that tears coming out can be due to some kusala cittas? Well, we should say yes. So when you have great joy, also the tears come out, just like in meditation. So when you have great piti, joy, so at that time also the tears come out. So if the tears come out while you're doing meditation, or while you're reading, like the Abhidhamma Sutta, etc., so at that time kusala citta will arise. So when you have tears gushing out, when you have to separate with your beloved ones, then will be akusala citta will be arising at those times. Yes.
咁咧，今日有兩個問題啦。第一個問題咧就係有人問咧，如果係想考嗰個阿毗達摩嘅試咧，咁喺邊度考幾月嘅？咁教授咧就講咧，阿毗達摩試咧只可以喺緬甸12月度有得考嘅，但係咧一定咧係用緬文作答嘅。咁我諗大部分人都唔合格啦。咁如果你但係而家緬甸政府咧都傾緊喺新加坡開一個市場嘅考試嘅場地啦，咁淨係俾女出家人同埋在家人考呢個試嘅。咁我諗出家人和想考嘅可能唔同啦。咁第二咧就係但係教授講，如果你想去讀阿毗達摩嘅課程咧，即係想攞個文憑咧，可以去參加呢個喺仰光嘅國際佛教大學，可以去嗰度讀嘅。咁另外咧就有人問咧，即係如果有人咧去做換心臟手術嘅時候咧，咁呢個人係咪仲同一個 個人咧，因為個意門咧就換咗啦，硬件換咗啦。咁教授答咧就係話咧，仲係會係同一個人嘅。咁咧因為佢嘅業啊樣嘢啊都係一樣嘅，即係仲係舊嗰個人嘅嗰啲業啦、果報啊會產生嘅。所以同埋呢個人咧亦都會記翻舊陣時啲嘢嘅，唔會記得完全換咗個心就乜都唔記得晒嘅。咁第三個問題咧就係有人講咧，有人係禪修嘅時候啊，或者去聽經嘅時候啊，咁就會有流眼淚啦。咁咧問題就係話，如果唔係因為憂悲苦惱而產生嘅眼淚咧，係咪都係呢個係呢個親根心咧生起嘅一齊生起咧？咁教授嘅答案咧就唔係嘅。因為咧，就算我哋係好快樂嘅時候、好開心嘅時候，亦都會有流眼淚嘅。所以呢個眼淚咧，淨係憂悲苦惱嘅時候咧，先至係親根生嘅眼淚。
So we continue our teaching of Abhidhamma.
Okay, I just want to make a note, just one announcement. 我哋今日簽到嘅時候咧，如果你咧冇報名嘅，而又想收到我哋之後嘅通知咧，關於個課程嘅咧，咁電郵想收到你嘅電郵咧，請你喺嗰個簽到紙上面寫你嘅電郵啦。So if you have not given us your email address, please fill it up at the sign up sheet. Thank you.
So coming to page 263 in less than 1 month is quite a good progress. Because in our international university, we teach also 4 chapters in one semester, 4 months, and then so 8 chapters for the whole year. So now we already finished the 7th chapter in less than 1 month. So now on page 263. Now we have number 8, the 10 samyojanas. We call fetters. Samyojana means fetters that binds beings to the wheel of existence, or you can say to the wheel of samsara, the round of rebirth, and to the rounds of misery, suffering. There are 10 fetters which bind each individual to the wheel of existence. So, in the Sutta Pitaka, the Buddha described the following 10 fetters. One is Kama Raga Samyojana. So, we come across this word Kama Raga very often. So, Kama is sense desire, Raga means the lust. So, actually it means various form of lobha, greed. And it is not the strongest fetters to break actually, and it's very difficult to break this fetter actually. So as people, because of this sense desire, they enjoy with the sense objects most of the time, so they forget to perform meritorious deeds, and they are far away from meditation. So when they die, they are born in the woeful states. So when the people are born in a woeful state, it will be a long chain of existence in that lower abodes. So for them, the samsara is very, very, very long. And even just like the people, so who even have the chance to study the teaching of the Buddha. So if you call them, would you join us in the coming meditation retreat? They say, oh, I will try to see, I will try to join. But when it comes to the time, they say, I have too much to do. So you are attached to your family, attached to the sensual pleasure, attached to your job, etc. So you cannot give time to meditation. And even when you take on the meditation, we say yesterday there are the 6 hindrances, and among them this sense desire is the worst. We say it is tough, and it obstructs your progress in meditation. So you cannot attain the path wisdom. So until and unless we attain the past wisdom, we shall be roaming life after life in the long chain of rebirth we call samsara. Okay.
咁咧，我哋今日咧就講第263頁啦。我哋講咧係十結嘅結咧，就係結束嘅結啦。佢意思咧就係話有10個結咧，好似枷鎖咁樣箍住我哋咧，令到咧我哋喺呢個娑婆世界咧輪迴嘅。咁10結入邊咧，第一個咧亦都係最犀利嘅咧，就係叫欲貪結啦。咁咧，我哋睇過好多不善法咧，都知道排名第一嘅都係呢個欲貪嘅，或者叫貪欲結啦。咁呢個貪欲結咧，就主要係講我哋嘅對於感官5種感官欲嗰啲感受嘅貪執啦。咁教授咧呢度就講咧，就係話咧因為欲貪咧，我哋咧就唔會去做善修啦，甚至去忘記去做善事啦。而導致我哋咧就係輪迴係惡道嘅。咁如果係惡道咧，我哋會輪迴好耐咧，亦都冇機會係積累啲善業啦。咁所以咧就呢個欲貪咧係修行啦，或者培育善法嘅一個最大嘅障礙啦。甚至我哋學5蓋啦，或者6蓋咧，其中第一個咧亦都係呢個貪欲蓋啦。咁跟住咧教授又講咧，佢話咧，就算我哋識得佛法嘅人，知道咩係善咩係不善嘅人咧，聽完佛法之後咧，可能下一個禪營retreat 咧，咁有人叫你去咧，你就話諗下先，諗下咧就又係或者工作太多或者要陪屋企人或者呢樣或者嗰樣咧，都係唔會去禪修嘅。咁所以咧我哋嘅執着呢啲屋企或者呢個感官嘅享受咧，而令到我哋咧係遠離呢個善法，而唔可以去即係修行啦，培養呢個道智同埋果智，去離開呢個輪迴嘅。
Now, if you undertake tranquility meditation, and then if you can relinquish this sense desire, then you can develop rupa vajra jhana. So that is number 2. We say rupa raga samyojana, attachment to rupa vajra jhana, and the rupa existence means the existence of Brahmas in the rupa realms. So when you attain this rupa vajra jhana, the jhana bliss is superior than sense pleasure. So the people actually during the time when the teachings of the Buddha do not exist, so they just enjoy the jhana bliss for the whole life. When they die, they will be born in the Brahma realms. Again, they gonna keep on enjoying the jhana bliss there, and actually in the Brahma realms, there are the noble persons among the Brahmas. If they want to meditate, they can find the person or the place where to meditate, but they don't do it. So they just they keep on enjoying the jhana bliss. So they don't attain enlightenment, not to be free from samsara. And again, if you can cut off your attachment to materiality, not temporarily actually, then you can develop arupa vajra jhana, and when you die, you can be born in the arupa Brahma realm. And arupa jhana is more peaceful and more blissful, we should say, than rupa vajra jhana. So it is greater bliss. So again, those persons for the whole life they just enjoy. They just keep on enjoying this jhana bliss. When they become arupa Brahmas, they cannot undertake meditation at all. That means they can not get enlightenment. Even they stay there for thousands of the war cycles. So when they die from those Brahma realm, Rupa realm and Arupa realm, so since they cannot cut off that Kama Raga, the sense desire, completely yet, so they were born in the sense sphere again, as human beings or as celestial beings, and keep on enjoying sense pleasure again. So when they die from there, they can be born in a woeful state, not in the woeful births. So the long samsara will keep on rolling again.
咁咧第二個結咧就係話色貪結啦。咁色咧就係話色界啦，存在空間啦。大家都知道色界係乜嘢啦。咁當一個人咧，如果佢修咗呢個四禪咧，或者色界嘅定咧，咁大家都知道個色界嗰個禪悅咧係超過嗰個殊勝過我哋嘅欲樂咧係好多好多倍嘅。所以咧呢啲眾生咧亦都會貪着嗰個色界四禪嘅禪悅嘅。而佢哋投生去梵天咧，咁佢哋咧就唔會去修內觀啦、修觀禪啦。雖然喺梵天咧亦都會有聖者嘅，咁啲人咧就會喺享樂，即係安住喺呢個禪悅當中啦。咁佢哋嘅業咧盡咗之後咧，亦都會再次輪迴啦。咁同樣嘅咧，第三個結咧就係無色貪結啦。就係話，如果收到四禪八定啦，收到八定嘅眾生咧，佢哋咧投生係無色界，咁更加咧係冇可能修內觀啦，因為冇呢個色法啦，俾佢哋修啦。咁佢哋亦都係安住喺呢個禪悅當中嘅。咁佢哋貪着呢啲嘅存在啦，尤其喺佛法唔在世嘅時候咧，啲人只可以修呢啲定咧，咁佢哋投生喺嗰度咧，就自然就會享受呢啲定啦。咁佢哋會翻有啲人咧就會翻嚟係欲界投生啦，即係視乎佢哋嘅業啦，甚至有啲咧會再次投生係苦界嘅。咁投生喺呢啲地方，如果貪着呢啲存在咧，咁佢哋係冇可能脫離呢個娑婆世界嘅輪迴嘅。
So number 4 is patika. Patika samyojana. So patika and dosa, they are the same. So it is evil, anger or hatred. And yesterday we learned about the 4 ties that keep on extending the life cycle. So we talk about those, the 2 wives who became the hen and the hen and the cat, and then they keep on killing each other for many existences. And the same day with the Devadatta, because he bears grudge against our Bodhisattva, so he tried to kill the Bodhisattva in many existences. Even the last existence, when he had the chance to become imam and undertake meditation, he could even develop jhana and the supernormal power. So if he could keep on meditating, he could attain enlightenment, just like Ananda and other the princes. But still he tried to kill the Buddha again. So now he was in Avijita, the lowest hell. So because of this particular evil, he had to suffer in the lowest hell, not the worst hell, for many world cycles. So for him, the samsara would be very, very long.
咁第4個結咧就係親慧結啦。咁我哋琴日都有講啦，個親心咧亦都係三毒之一啦，即係三惡不善根之一啦。呢個親。咁咧，我琴日教授都有講個故事，就係嗰2個女士咧，一個投生去做貓啦，一個投生做雞啦，咁冤冤相報咧，輪迴不停啦咁樣。另外一個故事就係話Devadatta啦，佛陀嘅表兄啦，咁佢哋咧都有宿世嘅因緣嘅，咁多生多世咧Devadatta咧都想害佛陀啦，咁或者菩薩啦，咁喺佛陀成佛嗰世咧。佢咧都想盡辦法去害佢啦，同埋破和合啦。咁所以咧呢個親慧戒咧令至呢個 Devadatta 咧就投生喺呢個無間地獄啦。咁同埋咧佢會喺嗰度受苦咧係相當長嘅時間。如果咧佢唔止息呢啲親恨啦，佢會永久咁樣喺娑婆世界輪迴嘅。
And then the next one is mana, samyojana. So mana is pride or conceit. So those people who are very proud or conceited with their wealth, with their power, etc. So they would not even pay respect to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and then they would not they undertake meditation. For example, during the time of the Buddha, the King Bimbisara, he became a stream winner just by listening to the teaching of the Buddha. So King Bimbisara wanted his wife, his chief queen, that is Khema Devi, to listen to the teaching of the Buddha so that she can also become stream winner. But Khema Devi is very proud of her beauty. So as everyone admires her, oh, you are the most beautiful. So she was very, very proud. So when the Buddha, in his Dhamma, he said, our living body is not beautiful, it is disgusting, just like the dead corpse. So she didn't want to listen to the teaching of the Buddha. So the King Bimbisara had to find ways to persuade her to go to the Buddha. So he asked the song's composer to compose a song about the beauty of the garden, the royal garden where the Buddha was staying. It is just as beautiful as the celestial garden in Tao Tim Saren. So the king let singers sing that song every morning, so that the chief queen can hear the song. And finally, she was interested to see that garden. So she asked permission from the king. The king willingly allowed her to go, but he told the charioteer, "You took my chief queen to the garden, but you don't come back. You don't bring her back unless she has seen the Buddha." So Khema Devi is going to become the chief female disciple, the right hand female disciple, who will become foremost in wisdom. So she is very wise. So she said, in the morning the Buddha would go on Amsra. So she went to the garden in the morning. So after looking all at the garden, she asked the charioteer, "Please take me back." Then the charioteer told her, the king has asked him to take her back only after she has seen the Buddha. Well, she said, "Okay, I will go to the Buddha's chamber." So the fragrant chamber of the Buddha. So she thought the Buddha would be upset. So she went. So the door was just closed there. So she just pushed the door. It's not locked. So as soon as she pushed, so the Buddha was waiting inside. The Buddha already knew that she would be coming. "My daughter, please come in," the Buddha asked her. And the Buddha even created a celestial being, actually, not just like a human being, a human maiden, about 16 years old, much beautiful than the Khema Devi. And the Buddha also let this girl fan the Buddha. So when the chief queen saw that girl, that created girl by the Buddha, created by the Buddha, as the girl was more beautiful than her, she was very, very attracted by the beauty of the girl. So she just gazed at her. So when the Buddha again repeated, "My daughter, please come near to me." So she came near, not to pay respect to the Buddha, just to gaze at that girl. Just to gaze at that girl. So they say, when two ladies, they meet each other, they always gaze at each other. Now how did she wear? How did she make her beauty? Why she is so quite attractive? So they are very interested like that. The same thing now. So Queen Khema was gazing at that girl all the time. So while she was gazing, the Buddha made this young girl to grow older slowly. and then she became very old, with white hair, with wrinkles, no skin, and then with no teeth, and then even becoming friendly, while she was not friendly, and then she fell down dead. So the queen was shocked. He said, so beautiful girl, now she died. So the Buddha only then told her, my daughter came, beauty does not last long. So when you become old and you die, this beauty becomes worthless. So after that, the Buddha gave a short. So when at that time, her pride goes down. So then the Buddha knew. Only then he got give the Dhamma talk to her. With the pride, she didn't want to listen. So whatever the Buddha taught, even then she wouldn't listen. But now when the Buddha gave a short sermon, then she became enlightened as a street winner. And then she went back to the palace and asked permission from the king to allow her to be ordained as a bhikkhuni. So the king, as she is already a street winner, very willingly, so he even made a great procession, taking her to the monastery of bhikkhuni. And when she became a bhikkhuni and undertook meditation, very soon she got developed those 4-part wisdom and became an arahat. So when she became arahat, then she attained all the supernormal power. So she had already fulfilled perfections. So for say 100,000 war cycles to become a chief disciple of the Buddha. So the Buddha after that, so the Buddha actually awarded her that foremost position among the female disciples, that she is foremost in wisdom among the bhikkhunis. So you just imagine, even a person like that, with high perfection, because of this pride, she didn't want to see the Buddha. So if she didn't meet the Buddha, when she died, she would become a female pig again. You remember the female pig? So go down to the Dova Samsara again. Okay.
咁咧第5節咧就係第4節咧就係我慢結啦 ，mana 啦就係我慢啦。咁即係講一種傲慢咧、自大嘅心啦。咁有啲人咧係因為自己嘅財富啦、自己嘅聰明才智啦、自己嘅地位啦，或者甚至自己嘅美貌咧，而有好強嘅傲慢心啦。咁呢個傲慢心咧，令到佢咧甚至咧唔去學佛法啦，唔尊敬三寶啦，或者唔禪修啦，即係以為自己有咗呢啲咧就得㗎啦。咁呢啲咧都會導致一個人咧就係輪迴啦，不停嘅輪迴啦，甚至咧做出不善法啦，去輪迴去惡道嘅。咁教授咧就講咗一個喺佛陀時候嘅故事啦。咁當時咧有一個國王咧好出名㗎啦，佢叫Bimbisara 國王啦。咁佢咧係一個初果嘅聖者嘅，好尊敬佛陀嘅。咁但係咧佢個皇后咧就係好靚嘅，佢皇后因為自己嘅靚咧就雖然佢個先生咧就好係三寶弟子啦，但係嗰個皇后咧就永遠都唔肯去拜見佛陀嘅，唔肯去聽開示嘅。咁呢個 Bimbisara 國王咧就好想佢呢個皇后去聽嘅。咁冇辦法咧，就諗咗好多辦法咧，因為知道佢個太太好中意靚嘅嘢，即係好中意靚嘅嘢，任何靚嘅嘢佢都中意。咁咧就揾人咧就編咗一首嗰啲歌咧，就入邊咧就形容佛陀嗰個精寫住嘅地方咧係幾咁靚。咁咧就引呢個皇后去睇啦，去參觀啦。咁嗰個皇后聽咗啲人唱啲咁樣嘅歌咧，就果然咧就心動。咁有一日咧就揾人咧，就真係想睇下佛陀住嘅地方。咁佢係想睇風景啫喎，唔係想拜見佛陀。咁 咁嗰個王咧就叫佢嗰個馬夫咧、車夫就一定要皇后見到佛陀先至，聽完開始先至準佢翻，唔可以就咁翻。咁呢個皇后都好聰明啦，咁佢咧就好早去睇完風景咧就想走。咁呢個車夫咧就諗辦法咧，就叫佢去帶佢去拜見，去佛陀居住嘅地方咧，都係見唔到佛陀。咁佢見到佛陀之後咧，咁呢個皇后好唔情願啦，但係即係去到都冇辦法啦，都要去拜見佛陀啦。咁去嘅時候咧，當時咧佢就見到佛陀咧好莊嚴咁坐喺度。咁咧坐喺佛陀後邊咧就有一個咧好靚嘅女子，呢個係佛陀用神通咧現化出嚟一個16歲嘅女子咧，就喺度撥扇幫佛陀。咁呢個女子咧就好似天人咁靚啦，即係其實係即係靚過人類好多啦。雖然呢個美貌第一嘅皇后咧，一睇咧都呆咗，即係覺得話天下有啲咁靚嘅女即係少女啦。咁呆咗之後咧，就望住佢啦。咁佛陀同佢講嘢，佢都聽唔到啦。但係咧，佛陀都冇之前都冇同佢講嘢。咁咧，因為佢係咁樣打咗個眼望住嗰個靚女咧，佛陀就運用神通咧，將呢個女子咧由16歲咧，就喺佢眼前咧，慢慢咧變成20幾歲嘅女士。跟住咧就變成30幾歲、40幾歲，跟住開始有皺紋，跟住個膚色都變埋，身形又變埋，跟住50幾歲、60幾歲，跟住咧就去到70幾歲，老到條腰都直唔到啦。跟住咧遲啲咧就直情可能即係體型變晒啦，大小便失禁啦，企都企唔到，瞓喺度，即係所有嘅呢啲一切咧就係展現喺呢個畸紋皇后嘅眼前啦。當然咧，因為佢係好注重靚嘅美貌，呢樣嘢對佢嚟講係好震驚嘅。咁佢睇完之後咧，就即係後尾嗰個女子咧，就喺佢面前死咗，變成一堆白骨。咁呢個完全係一個即係佛陀係知道佢個心係嗰個我慢咁強，而攞佢最注重嘅嘢咧，美貌咧，演示一課俾佢睇。睇完之後咧，咁佢就呢個畸瑪皇后咧，其實佢係智慧好高嘅人嚟嘅。咁之家之後咧，佢就明白嘅意思咧，佢諗咁靚嘅女人，又靚過我，後生過我，就喺我眼前變成一堆白骨。咁即係佢自己嘅價值觀咁高嘅嘢咧，佢即刻就明白咗啲嘢。當時佛陀再夾埋同佢開示咧，佢就即刻咧聽完開示咧，就變成一個初果嘅聖者。咁佢化晒啦，係嘛？即係真正喺佢面前演示咗之後咧，翻到去皇宮咧就同佢嗰個皇帝老公講，佢都係想出家，覺得呢啲嘢都係冇世間冇咩嘢咁值得咁重要，都係苦。咁咧佢個皇帝咧，即係佢老公又係初果聖者，咁睇見到個太太話忽然之間咁通透化，都好開心。咁咧就歡天喜地咁樣送佢出家。咁呢個皇后咧出咗家之後做咗比丘尼咧，佢冇幾耐就證咗阿羅漢果。咁因為佢證咗阿羅漢果嘅時候咧，咁同時咧亦都係所有嘅神通咧都具足嘅，因為佢波羅蜜咧係好強嘅。咁佢咧甚至咧係佛陀嘅女弟子啦、女比丘尼入邊咧，佛陀咧係封佢係智慧第一嘅。咁所以咧但係咧教授就講啦，佢話因為佢個我慢，如果唔係佛陀可以點化到佢咧，雖然佢嘅波羅蜜咁具足，都好可能好似之前我哋聽過古仔個梵天嘅投生去做為人，因為我慢強為咗貪靚，第二世都變成豬仔。咁所以咧即係其實個我慢係累人嘅。
So you please show the chart number 1, the Jeta chart. So please look at number 6, Deity Samyochana. So deity is the wrong view as a factor. And you should take notice that both the deity and mana, they arise together with the greed-rooted consciousness. So the deity is present in the 4 lopa mula, Deitigata, Samyutta, Cheta. And the mana associated with the 4 lopa mula, Deitigata, Vidyuta, and Cheta. So when you are having the wrong views, you are having only greed-rooted consciousness. And we say the basic wrong view is personality belief, taking this body and mind as I. So, as the Buddha said, unless you can get rid of this personal belief, you can never be enlightened as a noble person. And then you will not escape from the rebirth in hell. And then because of this personal belief, the people become very selfish, and they want to be rich, to attain the great happiness, especially eternal happiness. So taking this opportunity on this, so many religious teachers, they invented many religious sects. So all these religious sects, they promise great reward. So just like eternal heaven. So as the Buddha said, there in all these religious sects, they are different from the teachings of the Buddha. So they are actually the wrong views, and they don't have the Eightfold Noble Path in their teaching. So as they don't have Eightfold Noble Path, so by practicing those teaching, you never get the enlightenment, and you can never become a stream winner. So you have to be born again and again in samsara. Yes.
咁咧，我哋睇翻第一張圖咧，我哋睇到咧就有不善心，即係貪根身入邊咧有4個咧同邪見相應嘅心。咁呢個有邪見相應啦，就係因為有我啦，有我存在啦，有永恆不變嘅我啦。咁呢個我慢咧，亦都係喺呢個同邪見相應嘅心入邊生起嘅。咁邪見咧，主要咧就係話唔認識到呢個冇一個恆常不變我嘅呢個咁樣嘅見啦。咁好多人信即係外道或者信唔同嘅宗教咧，佢都相信有永恆嘅我或者快樂或者存在啦。咁當一個人咧係相信有一個我要為我嘅時候咧，咁人咧就變成自我為中心啦，或者好自私啦。咁所以咧呢啲人咧佢如果有咁樣嘅見咧，而咁樣生存咧，咁佢哋咧係脫離唔到輪迴嘅，永遠都會係輪迴當中嘅。
Number 7 is Silapada Pramasa as a factor. And that means it is also the wrong view, taking that if one practice the bovine or canine morality, one can become pure and can gain the liberation from the samsara. So again, it is the wrong view. Not just yesterday we say, those who practice like a dog for many years, they become dog-minded, and when they die, they will become a dog. And those practice the ox morality, bovine, the morality, so they become ox-minded, and when they die, they will just become an ox. So they go to the lower, the samsara when they die. So for them again, it will be a long way to go to Nirvana.
咁第7個結咧就係戒禁取結啦。咁琴日咧我哋都有講過啦，呢個亦都係因為邪見而引申出嚟嘅一啲結啦，即係枷鎖啦。咁咧例如咧有啲人認為咧一啲修習啦，例如豬行或者狗行或者去某啲地方，譬如恒河入邊沖涼就可以清淨淨化自己可以變成阿羅漢呢啲都係錯誤嘅見解啦、邪見啦。而如果持有呢啲邪見咧，亦都永遠喺呢個輪迴當中咧係流轉嘅。
Number 8 is Vichikicha, skeptical doubt as a factor. And you remember, the skeptical doubt all arises in Moha Mula Chitta. So it is the doubt about the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, and the teachings of the Buddha about the practice of meditation. So the many people nowadays, as they don't know the teachings of the Buddha, so they don't believe in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. They don't they don't bother to pay respect to the Buddha, to Dhamma, etc. So if we ask them to learn the teaching of the Buddha, they have no interest, especially the young people. So even now I am teaching in Myanmar group in Hong Kong. So I taught them in the morning. So I can teach them only on weekdays. So 2 weeks mean only 10 days. So I can also finish what we finish here. So they are asking me what to do with their children. They say, their children, when they were young, they pay homage to the Buddha and they even sit for meditation before they will go to bed. Now they go to the high school now. They become the older now. So as there are so much to learn, so they don't care to pay homage to the Buddha anymore. So even the parents cannot persuade them to like to pay respect to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. So there is a Vijikicca having doubt. So when you don't understand very well, and what do when you don't understand? Just like that great Russian writer and philosopher said, we do not know about the questions of the existence. So why are we born? So for what purpose are we born? And what is the most important thing that we should do? Why we are alive? So we don't know. We don't know. We are blinded by ignorance. That's the moha, ignorance. So when we are blinded, we are in the delusion that sense pleasure is the only way that we can get happiness in this life. So many people, they are just trying to devote to their work. They are working very hard most of the time just to get money. For what? For to enjoy sense pleasure. To enjoy sense pleasure. So in the place where I was, I was staying. So there is Kowloon Tong actually. So there is a rich quarter, you might say. So in one house, I can see the 2 cars. One is a BMW, and the other is Porsche. So Porsche, they said it costs 2 million Hong Kong dollars. So when you ride these very comfortable cars, how much delight do you have? How much comfort do you have? So if you have a lot of worry with your work, so while you're driving, you don't even notice about the comfort there. So if you have a traffic jam or something like that, so then you even get displeasure, disappointment, etc. So just walking to get money to buy such expensive things, to enjoy them, and they don't know when they die they will be born in the woeful state. So that is Vijikicca. So we are having. So we should know we are having the best existence at present time. At the present time, to be a human being is a very difficult attainment, and to come the teaching of the Buddha is very, very fortunate. And then the teaching of the Buddha is for the welfare of all people. So it is the real happy teaching that can lead to total liberation from suffering, and from this cycle of the suffering we call samsara. So we have the chance to undertake meditation, and in a short time we can even attain the enlightenment if we try very hard. So we are having the best time and the best chance in life. But when you have the Vijikicca, you don't get any benefit. Okay.
咁咧第8個結咧就係叫疑結啦。咁咧其實疑咧，琴日都有講咧，就係話懷疑啦，對三寶嘅懷疑啦，對佛法啦，對自己嘅老師啦，對佛陀教嘅譬如禪修嘅方法咧有懷疑嘅。 咁呢個懷疑咧，亦都係因為無明愚痴啦，因為我哋唔知道佛法啦，唔了解啦，而又因為疑咧而唔去體驗，唔會禪修，亦都唔會知道嘅。咁教授講咧就係、尤其啲後生呢一輩啦，好似佢而家咧喺香港都有啲緬甸人啦，同佢學緊阿毗達摩嘅。咁今日咧都係仲有一堂，咁啲人就問佢點樣教啲細路仔，因為啲細路仔咧細個嗰陣時咧都仲會去禮敬佛陀啊，仲會坐喺度禪修啊，但係而家去咗讀咗中學之後咧，就完全咧就好難教啦，唔會再聽父母講噶啦。咁所以咧教授咧就講㗎，呢個咧係好可悲嘅一件事，因為咧我哋做人咧其實人生嘅意義係乜嘢咧？我哋都唔知，就係知道忙忙碌碌咁樣去工作揾錢，跟住去享受。咁咧我哋咧就完全係迷失喺呢個滿足自己嘅欲五種感官嘅享樂當中嘅。咁佢講咧佢我知道有人住九龍塘啦，但係呢個例子唔緊要啦。咁咧佢而家咧就住喺啲信長屋企，住喺九龍塘啦。咁佢話佢屋企個窗口睇出去咧，就見到有啲好有錢嘅人咧，就有2架車，一架車 BMW， 一架車咧就係 Porsche。咁聽講 Porsche 有200萬一架。咁佢就話：咁你估啲人坐喺呢啲咁貴嘅車入邊，即係咁樣嘅有幾多享受咧？但係當你嘅心係有憂慮嘅時候，你仲會唔會記得呢啲享受咧？但係咧人咧就往往就係迷失喺呢啲肉體入邊啦，當中啦，就唔記得咗其他嘢嘅。咁所以咧話呢個亦都係因為無明啦。咁我哋即係好多人係冇機會或者個疑重啦，就唔會去繼續去學佛法啊，或者去修啦。但係咧教授講啦，其實我哋咧而家呢個身處呢個時候咧係最好嘅時候，因為我哋可以學佛，我哋仲可以禪修，佛法仲喺度。咁咧佛法真都仲喺度。咁點解我哋唔珍惜呢個機會咧？去好好地去修咧？咁同埋咧係可以咧幫我哋咧係離苦得樂嘅。
When mind is uddhacca, restlessness, that make the mind very restless. And uddhacca, just like vicikiccha, it associates with moha mula citta. So if your mind is not restless or having doubt, you are developing only moha mula citta, ignorance-rooted consciousness. So again, even you undertake meditation, this uddhacca, as well as the vicikiccha, they are among the 5 hindrances. So it obstructs the attainment of the development of moral minds. So if they are present, you cannot develop moral minds. And even you undertake meditation very strenuously, so you cannot develop jhana, magga and phala. So that means you cannot attain enlightenment. So they also make us to be born again and again in samsara.
咁咧第9個嗰個結咧就係掉舉結啦。咁掉舉咧，琴日都有講啦，講5蓋嘅時候亦都講啦。咁佢咧係一個黐根心嘅基於黐根心而生起嘅啦。掉舉或者散亂啦，個心好不安啦，或者好冇力嘅。咁佢咧就係同個疑一樣啦。當佢存在嘅時候咧，我哋係培養唔到善法嘅。我哋嘅心咧唔可以去到安止定啦，亦都唔會有產生呢個智慧嘅，甚至戒行定都可能都去唔到嘅。咁亦都唔會產生呢個道智同埋果智啦。咁因為佢哋嘅存在咧，我哋咧就會喺度永久嘅輪迴啦。
Number 10, avijja. Avijja is ignorance or delusion, we say, though it is mentioned as the last factor. Actually, it is the worst. It is the worst factor, you might say, because avijja is the moha citasika that associates with all the 12 immoral minds, and it is the leader of the 14 immoral mental factors. It is the leader. So it blinds our mind to be ignorant of the true nature of not the sense object, the true nature of ourselves, our existence. So it gives us the wrong vision that sense objects are very beautiful, permanent, and desirable and enjoyable. So it keeps us to be just trying to enjoy this sense pleasure, so that we forget performing meritorious deeds. And also this, because of ignorance, people, they don't know that they have lived for many existences already, and there will be future existence again, and then they don't know about the round of rebirth, and they don't know about the Four Noble Truths. So long avijja keeps us blind. So we shall be just going round and round in samsara, and we can never get enlightenment to become a noble person.
咁最後一劫咧就係無明劫啦。咁佢雖然係最後一劫，但係佢係最衰嘅一個。咁佢咧係12個同呢個12個不善心啦 ，akusala 咧一齊生起咧就有佢份嘅。咁同埋咧佢亦都咧係帶領咗我哋12個不善心所嘅，佢係一個領袖嚟嘅。咁因為無明咧，其實咧我哋咧就無明係乜嘢咧？就之前教授已經反覆講過，無明淨係睇唔出我哋感官所緣嘅真相。咁我哋根本就唔知我哋感受嗰啲係咩嘢，咁以為佢係常樂我淨嘅。咁因為無明咧遮蓋咗我哋，令到我哋盲嘅。咁所以咧我哋會迷失啦喺呢個享樂當中啦，唔會培育善法啦，而做出不善嘅行為啦。咁同埋咧，佢亦都係令到我哋咧唔會會理會呢個輪迴啦。就算我哋知，我哋信唔信都唔緊要啦，我哋都會唔記得，甚至有啲人係唔會知啦，亦都唔會理會過去生，亦都唔會理會將來嘅。咁亦都咧係唔明白四聖體嘅。所以咧呢個無明咧係可以講咧係遮蓋咗我哋，令到我哋係盲目咁樣喺呢個輪迴當中流傳嘅。
Now, if you take the essential elements of these 10 factors, so you can note 1, 2, 3 stands for lobha. Number 4, patiga is dosa, ill will. Number 5 is mana. 6 and 7 is ditthi, the wrong view. Number 8 is vijikicha, skeptical doubt. And 9 is uddhacca, restlessness. And number 10 is moha. So you get 7 immoral mental factors. And on page 264, again we describe 10 factors according to Abhidhamma Pitaka. So they are actually very similar to the previous 10 factors. What the Buddha do here is, he combined number 2 and 3 on page 263, the 2 and 3. That is Rupa Raga Samyojana and Arupa Raga Samyojana are combined as one. That is on page 264 is number 2. We call Bhava Raga Samyojana. So Bhava Raga Samyojana is the attachment to the jhana bliss, that is Rupa jhana as well as Arupa jhana, and to the existence of the Rupa Brahma and Arupa Brahmas. So there we get one less. And then if you look back to the Sutta 10 factors on page 263, so we have the Uddhacca as number 9. So he omit this Uddhacca, and on page 264 he put in number 8 and 9, that is Iksa Samyojana. Iksa is envy or jealousy, so it is also a factor. And Machriya, avarice or stinginess, so that obstructs almsgiving, etc. So it is also a factor. So he take away Uddhacca and puts 2, so we get 1 more here. So this is 10 factors according to Abhidhamma Pitaka. So if we compare with the previous 10 factors, we have only that Exa Machriya in addition. So they say the total number of the essential elements for the two ways of these 10 factors would be 9, would be 9 Cetasikas. So the 7 we have already enumerated, and then we combine Exa and Machriya.
咁咧，我哋咧總結呢10結啦，呢10結咧就係經教入面嘅所講嘅，即係經啦入面所講嘅10結啦。咁頭1、2、3貪欲結啦、色貪結啦、無色貪結咧都屬於貪根嘅啦。咁第4就係呢個親啦。咁慢咧就係邪見咧，咁都係呢個親根啦。咁跟住呢個疑咧，同埋掉散亂咧。同埋呢個無明咧都係一組嘅，咁一共咧就有7個嘅不善嘅心所嚟嘅。咁如果我哋去到264頁咧，就見到咧喺阿毗達摩呢個論教入邊咧，佢咧都有10結嘅，即係同前面有少少唔同。有咩唔同咧？喺263頁咧，我哋見到第2、第3咧，色貪結同埋無色貪結咧。喺呢個264頁咧，就合併埋一個就叫有結啦，即係存在啦，色界同埋無色界嘅呢個存在咧，就合而為一咧，就有結啦。3、4、5、6、7咧都係一樣嘅。咁咧第8咧就喺呢個263頁咧，就係呢個第9咧就係掉舉啦。第9就係掉舉啦，咁喺呢個論教嘅10結入邊咧，掉舉咧就唔存在嘅，咁咧取而代之係乜嘢咧？係嗰個嫉妒。咁咧咁同埋咧佢又加多一個咧叫做慳啦，即係慳見啦。咁所以咧嗰個論教同經教咧就有呢2個唔同嘅，咁其他咧都係一樣嘅。
Now, the next topic on page 264, that is number 9, we call 10 kilesas. So kilesas, they mean defilement, torment, and they say kilesas defile the mind, and afflict and burn the mind. So there are 10 of them. Just we read through this 10. So what is the first one? Lobha, greed or attachment, with the characteristic of craving and attachment. Number 2, dosa, anger, hatred or ill will. Number 3, moha is ignorance or delusion. Number 4, mana, pride or conceit. And number 5, deity, the false views. Number 6, vichikicha, skeptical doubt or indecision or perplexity. And number 7, tina, sloth. Number 8, uddhaja, restlessness. And then number 9, ahirika, moral shamelessness. So not ashamed to perform immoral actions. Number 10, anuttapa, moral fearlessness, not afraid to perform evil actions. So they are the 10 evil, the akusala, cetasika, immoral mental factors that defile, afflict and burn the mind. Okay.
咁咧，另外一種分法咧就係第264頁啦，有10種嘅煩惱啦，或者我哋叫染心啦。咁呢啲煩惱咧就係令到我哋嘅心有雜染啦，有染污啦，同埋燃燒。令到我哋嘅心咧係痛苦嘅。咁呢10種咧係邊10種咧？第一種咧就係貪啦，第2咧就係瞋啦，第3就係無明啦，第4就係我慢啦，第5就係邪見啦，第6咧就係疑啦，第7咧就係懶惰啦，第8咧就係掉舉啦，第9咧就係無對於不善法咧係冇一種羞恥心嘅。冇一種第10咧就係無愧嘅心咧，就係話對不善法咧冇一種恐懼嘅心嘅。
Now in some suttas, the Buddha said these 10 defilements, they are the causes of all suffering in the world. In some sutta, he just pin down to number 1, 2, 3. So he say Lopa, Dosa, Moha. No, they are the causes of all evil actions and all suffering in the whole world. And in his first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, he just pinned down to Lopa alone. So he said Lopa is the cause of all suffering. So all are correct actually. So because when you take Lopa, so in Lopa, please take the chart again. When you look at the Lopa Mula Chitta, so you can lower down a little bit so that you can see a little. So when the Greek-rooted consciousness arises, it associates with like deity and mana with this deity kata vidyuta chitta. So we call these the three lopa, deity and mana. So there are three defilements. And again we say the four dosa group. So we call that dosa chatuka, remember? So dosa chatuka means dosa, and then we get the uddhacca, ahirika and anuttappa. So four defilement. Now what we describe here. So that is the moha group. The moha group associate with all the 12 immoral mind. So they also associate with lopa, mula, chitta. So you get now three lopa groups and four moha group, you get 7 defilements there. And again, in this lopa group we had the tina maida associated with the sasankarika chitta. So in the samsa sankarika tina, there is another defilement associated with lopa. Now you get 8 defilements already there. And then we say when moha associate, vicikiccha also comes along. So there's another defilement. And then the Buddha said from craving springs the greed. And from craving springs the fear. Fear and greed stands for dosa. So all the 10 defilements are involved in lopa. So when the Buddha say lopa is the cause of all suffering, so that is also correct. All correct. So that means if you can eliminate lopa totally, then the Buddha said, then all the causes of suffering will be eliminated. Then only peace and bliss will exist in your mental stream, and that is nibbana, the Buddha said. So just try to get rid of totally this lopa. Then you will gain, you will become an arahat, an arahat. So how to get rid of that lopa? So now in actually what we do, the meditation, what we do in vipassana meditation is to open up all those which are covered or blinded by ignorance. So ignorance blinds us not to see the true nature of our body and mind. So the true nature of body and mind is, it is made up of only material materiality, which are rising, dissolving very rapidly. So they have the characteristics of anicca, impermanence, dukkha, suffering, and non-self anatta. Non-self anatta. So we have to see this very, very clearly. And then also we have to investigate and verify the causal relations of dependent origination. Also in chapter 8 we are going to study that the doctrine of dependent origination. It is known as paticca samuppada. So we have to find that out so that then we understand about our past existences and the future existences which are blinded, so that we don't know about these. And also the causal relation that give rise from one existence to another. So these are blinded by ignorance. You have to find out. So then you find that in all the 31 planes, as they are only materiality, and also you know the causal relation of these mentality materially giving rise to life of the light. So when you truly see the true nature of this mentality materiality to be impermanent, impermanent and really suffering, and no self in that, then you can cut away all attachment. So that when you open up, so all these things, so moha is given away, is driven away. There's no moha anymore that blinds us not to see the true nature of existence. So in vipassana we have to find out all this true nature of existences. So when you see the true nature as really suffering and non-self, you don't have any attachment. That is, lopa will be totally cut off. Then you enjoy eternal peace and happiness that we call nibbana forever. Okay.
咁咧，我哋咧就頭先咧教授咧就講啦，我哋睇呢個10個煩惱咧，通常咧我哋大家最熟悉有貪嗔痴啦。咁喺經入邊咧，我哋通常都知道，唔使知道10個啦，淨係知道貪嗔痴咧係嗰個不善根啦。咁貪嗔痴入邊咧，咁喺有啲經入邊咧，佛陀咧直情就講係無明啦，或者淨係貪啦。例如喺《主法輪經》入邊咧，佛陀就講咧，呢個貪咧係導致我哋痛苦啦，同埋所有不善法嘅所緣嚟嘅之源嚟嘅。所以我哋斷除咗呢個貪咧，咁咧就可以止息個苦啦。咁喺嗰個四聖諦啦，我哋都知道苦集滅嗰個集入邊咧，就係貪愛係令到我哋苦啦。咁咧頭先咧教授咧亦都用呢張圖咧，就即係用我哋學過嘅嘢嚟總結啦。譬如我哋不善法入邊咧，咁譬如我哋個貪根身入邊咧，佢咧就係有3個啦，同邪見啦，同埋邪見同埋貪邪見同埋嗰個我慢咧係一組嘅。咁咧呢個咧即係其實有邪見就好大鑊㗎啦，即係已經係冇智慧㗎啦。咁我慢就令到我哋自我為中心啦，或者亦都係培養唔到善法啦。咁4個親心，咁親根心咧就唔係好似貪咁差啦。咁摩下咧即係無明咧係所有12個不善心都要伴隨住嘅。咁所以咧我哋可以睇到咧，即係不善法入邊咧，佢嘅首要咧就係呢個貪愛啦，同埋無明嘅。咁教授跟住講咧，點樣去除呢個貪愛咧？咁咧或者呢個無明咧，就係話我哋修呢個內觀啦，毗婆舍那啦。咁當我哋修內觀嘅時候咧，我哋睇清楚我哋嘅嗰個身心啦、名色二法嘅真相啦、實相啦，睇到佢係苦無常無我啦。咁咧我哋亦都咧同時咧，即係透過呢個修習禪修咧，我哋可以睇到佢嘅因果關係啦。咁喺阿毗達摩記咧，我哋遲啲亦都會講呢個緣起法啦，第8課啦，會講緣起法啦。咁同埋呢個24因緣嘅。咁咧我哋學完之後，同埋我哋去修咧，去證實佢咧、親證佢咧，我哋自己咧用培養呢個智慧，睇到呢個物質嘅實相嘅時候咧，我哋咧就唔會對呢個物質嘅嘢或者身名法色法咧而有貪愛啦或者執取嘅。咁當我哋冇咗呢個貪愛同執取嘅時候咧，因為我哋有咗智慧咧，咁我哋咧就唔會有苦啦。
Now these 10 defilements can be multiplied to 1,500. So on page 265 we describe that. So there is one consciousness, Chaita, 52 mental factors, Chaita seekers, and 18 real materialities we call Nibbana Rupa that are produced by 4 causes. And then 4 Lakkhana Rupas, the materiality of characteristics. So if you add them up, they amount to 75 entities. And these 75 entities exist both internally in us and externally in others. So like Lopa, they crave for all these the 75 entities in ourselves and in other people's bodies. So if we multiply this 75 with 2 for internal and external, it becomes 150. As these 150 entities are the objects of operation, for each kilesa, we multiply 150 with 10 kilesa, we get 1,500 kilesa. So it is a division of soldiers. So it is very difficult to overcome them, and they are very, very powerful.
咁咧，我哋學咗10種煩惱啫，咁但係其實有1500種嘅，唔係10種咁少嘅。咁條數點計咧？咁咧就喺265頁，咁中間咁計啦。咁咧佢點樣計咧？就係一個心啦，一個 chitta 啦，加52個心所啦，就53啦，再加18種緣成色啦，咁咧就71啦。咁咧再加4個物質嘅相啦，即係個4相啦，咁75嘅。75係我哋嘅內在嘅有啦。咁咧同埋咧，咁外在咧亦都有呢75種即係人哋啦，即係人哋包括所有嘅人啦、眾生啦。咁內在同外在夾埋咧就150個嘅。咁150個咧就代表一個心啦，一個 chitta 啦。咁我哋咧如果有10個煩惱咧，10個煩惱咧，每一個煩惱同一個心生起嘅時候咧，就150乘10，咁咧就有1500個呢個煩惱存在。咁咧就即係唔係1500個唔係存在我哋自身當中嘅一半存在喺人哋嗰度嘅。
So, when we perform meditation to attain enlightenment, we have to fight against these 10 kilesa. So, the battle against these 10 kilesas is actually the greatest battle. The greatest battles actually in life. Also, the Buddha said, a man conquers 1,000 men 1,000 times, and another man conquers these defilements only once. So that person who conquers defilements is actually the greatest conqueror, the Buddha said. So when people didn't know that, they think that when we undertake meditation, we are sitting doing nothing. They say, doing nothing, just wasting time. We don't know we are fighting the greatest battle, and it is the noblest battle. We never lose. So if we can undertake meditation, so we get billions of good karma every second. So that may will help. So we conquer actually a lot of good karma, and finally we shall conquer this defilement and gain liberation from samsara forever.
咁咧其實咧，我哋一生當中咧，我哋最大嘅戰場啦，唔係出邊，而係我哋嘅內心啦。我哋嘅敵人咧，我哋打緊仗係乜嘢？係同我哋呢啲自身入邊嘅不善煩惱咧喺度打緊仗嘅。咁咧其實咧每一個當下咧，其實都係一場仗啦。咁佛陀喺《法句經》入邊都有講啦，就算我哋戰勝咗1,800萬個人，1,800萬次，咁咧都不如咧我哋可以戰勝自己內心嘅敵人咧一次咁多嚟得呢個犀利啦。咁同埋咧，我哋譬如我哋禪修啦，好多人都話我哋坐喺度做乜嘢咧？無所事事，淨係坐喺度打坐眯埋眼，冇嘢做㗎。咁其實咧，我哋做緊咧就係同呢個自己嗰個不善法咧係對抗緊啦。咁咧我哋培育緊善法嘅，咁其實咧就唔係唔做嘢嘅，係做緊一啲好難得嘅善事嘅。
So the lobha, tanha can also be multiplied into 108 modes. In the first discourse, we call Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. So the Buddha, he described this tanha. Tanha is also another name for lobha. It's a craving. So he described 3 kinds of craving in that Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Kama tanha is craving for sense objects. Bhava tanha is craving for all existences, including the Brahma existences. Number 3 is vibhava tanha, is craving for non-existence with the false view of annihilation of the dead. So if we have any one of these craving, the Buddha said we shall be born again and again. So the samsara will never end. And then in the discourse on the dependent origination, paticca samuppada, so the Buddha describes 6 types of craving. There is craving for 6 sense objects. Rupa tanha, craving for visible objects. Saddha tanha, craving for sound. Gandha tanha, craving for odor. And rasa tanha, craving for taste. And puttava tanha, craving for tangible object. And dhamma tanha is craving for mind objects, we might say. Those are not too subtle. These are the mind objects. They are very subtle. They don't appear in the 5 sense door, but they appear in the mind door. So if you multiply the first 3 types of tanha with the 6 types of the tanha, you get 18. And then again you multiply this 18 for the internal and external, you get 36. And as these 36 kinds of craving exist in the past, in the present, in the future, so you multiply 36 with 3, you get 108 modes of lobha tanha. So again, very, very strong.
咁咧，我哋咧跟住咧就講咧貪愛咧有幾多種咧？我哋成日都講貪係最不善法嘅所緣啦。咁貪愛咧8年。